This notion of a national political party is itself a bit of an anachronism in my opinion. Because if you have states that are so divergent, if you have practices that are so divergent, is it really feasible to have a national party that is 100% consistent on all core issues across all the states? For example, the BJP is for beef in Goa and in the Northeast. It is for Christian freedom in Northeast and Goa, where there are a lot of Christians. But it is against these things in the Hindi heartland. How is it the same party has such a core difference, so much so that people get lynched on the suspicion of carrying cattle illegally in one part of the country? So there's 15, 20 major differences that come like this. I have no problem if the unifying feature is something like secularism or social justice or equal access to education. These things should be universal across the country, in my opinion. So if those are the values on which, just like I say, if the union government restricted itself to defense, external affairs, interstate commerce, protecting the Reserve Bank and the currency, I would have no problem with that. We would devolve the rest of the states. I say if the core ideology at the national level was very simple and very fundamental, then I understand. Right now, what I think we have is a particular construct of the majority party that happens to be dominated by one or two people, where a lot of states are sacrificing their citizens' interests at the altar of the parties or the leaders' interests. But even that, I would say, is starting to break. I was at the finance ministers' conference in Delhi in November, where the state finance ministers were called by the union finance minister to give inputs for the budget. And at that time, I was very pleasantly surprised to see BJP government states, Maharashtra, at that time, Uttarakhand, it was still a BJP government at that time. Himachal Pradesh was, Uttarakhand still is, but I think Himachal Pradesh was and is not anymore. And, BJP state finance ministers or BJP government finance ministers asking the union, why are you collecting so much in cesses and surcharges? Why are you calling these central sponsored schemes or PM, ABC, and we put the bulk of the money? The kinds of questions that we had been asking that any state finance minister ought to ask, but BJP finance ministers had not been asking till now. They have started asking these questions. And one of the things I hope is, maybe two reasons. One, it's very hard to keep people suppressed perpetually. At some point, their natural instinct will to reassert their own identity and rights will come out. And second, nothing sharpens a political mind or a politician's agenda like elections. So as we get closer to elections, people are actually talking about issues that their voters care about rather than their leaders in Delhi care about. So I don't think this is a perpetual problem. I think sooner or later you'll find that you must speak for your representative, in your representative capacity, for your voters rather than for your party. And if there is a conflict, the voter should come first, not the party.